my friends, why you should be using the Dorian mode over blues. Let's talk about it today. I'm Eric Andreas, your Guitar Sage. Welcome to the Guitar Show. This is what we're talking about today, is the Dorian mode over blues. What? Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's a weird thought, but I'm going to show you why it is that this is a magical little scale to use over blues. Let's talk about it. So, Mike, you got that picture for us? You can put that on the screen.
I do.
Thank you. Look at Mike. He knows what he's doing. Now, check this out, man. We're at the 5th position here, right? First finger's at the 5th position, okay? And you're looking at this scale here. Doesn't it look an awful lot like the pentatonic scale? You're nodding your heads. Yes, it sure does, Eric. It looks very, very similar. I'm so glad you agree with me. Watch this. The regular A minor pentatonic scale, the penta 5-note scale, it doesn't have a lot of notes in it. This has 7 notes in it. But the pentatonic scale does this. Watch this. If we're taking this from the very low string, right, from the low E here, we have basically all but a few notes in here are right here in this this Dorian scale. So our basic, what we call form 1 of the A minor pentatonic looks like this. It goes, right, and that's what we got here on the screen here, except the Dorian does this. Not playing it from octave to octave, but just playing exactly what you're seeing right there, right? Now here's the deal. Notice something different here, and it is this. Really, the difference between the pentatonic scale and the Dorian scale, which you're looking at right here, the difference is this. There's a B and there's a G added to this, okay? A B and a G. Is that a G or a G flat, Mike? It's a G flat. Okay, there's a B and a G flat added to the pentatonic scale. Now, why would we use that? Why should that work? Well, let me preface this by saying this is going to work best over a 1-4-5, like a basic 12-bar blues chord progression. The reason that I caveat it with that is this. The B and the G flat are the major 2 and the major 6 if we're talking about theory here. Now don't get scared, okay? But just this is going to explain it for some of you that understand, that want to understand the why of this, you know. So if I'm playing A major, which is the scale that we should be using everything to analyze, right? Then notice that here's my A, and the second note is a B. That's a major 2. If we're talking about the major scale, that's called a major 2. I talk about all this in intervals and when I'm describing to you the major scale inside of UGS standard. This is the exact kind of stuff I'm showing you. So there's the major 2 there. And if we keep going, right, that G flat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our G flat. That's a major 6. Now, why is that helpful? Well, when it comes to playing blues, and by the way, what you just heard there was slow-mo blues, a slow-mo blues 55, okay? That's what we're calling it, slow-mo blues 55. In A, we may have a different name for it by the time it comes out. That's a jam track that you can get a hold of. More information about that will be in the link down below, in the description below, okay? But you can noodle with this one yourself. Jam tracks that we created that you can find at projamtracks.com. More about that. Okay, so now why, that major 2 and that major 6, why is that important? It's important because lots of blues players, from B.B. King to Stevie Ray Vaughan to just about any blues player, has used that major 2 and that major 6. You've heard this sound a lot before when I'm teaching the BB box or I'm teaching major blues or that sort of thing. Because listen to this sound, right? You hear this sound right here. That's major sounding. Here's minor sounding. right? It's because we're throwing in that 2 and we're throwing in that 3, okay? The major third is just that it happens when we're doing our bending, you know? We're bending up to it. So really, we're only introducing 2 notes with this Dorian mode, but literally, if you understand how to use this, then, which I'm going to show you some more here, then this is a great scale to use. Now, when I'm playing blues, I'm not thinking Dorian, but again, this brings us to a place where people are always looking for these exotic scales, these modes. How do I play the mode in blues or whatever? And they're always looking for these modes. That's going to be the secret. That's why I can't play well, is because I don't know the modes. That's not the reason why. It's because you're not phrasing. It's never because you need a scale. Because listen, if I think about this right here as a mode, if I think about it like, well, there's all the notes that I can use, then I might do this, which is not a good idea. I might go. About it more like I'm running a scale. It doesn't sound very good. It doesn't fit the format of blues so much. But that's not the way we should be looking at any phrasing anyhow, unless we're doing some sort of run specifically. But you know, blues is not about that, right? So, how should we think about it? Well, in my opinion, we should think about it more of, okay, I'm either playing pentatonically or I'm starting to add these other color notes in there, the major 2 and the major 6, to bring that major blues sound, okay? So for instance, the way I would think about this is, instead of playing it with a bunch of other pentatonic notes in there, I might try to come up with licks that incorporate these notes, and they may contain other notes out of the pentatonic scale, but I'm not running it like a scale. That makes sense. So for instance, okay, we got the regular pentatonic here, right? All pentatonic. But if I think about this guy right down here, this note and this note, which you can see are right above my first finger right now if you keep going up, right? This guy right there, those 2 notes, right? So I'm not going to play it instead of like, I'm not doing that. I'm playing it more like, what I'm going to do is come down here and go. So I'm hitting this note, I'm hitting this note, but I'm doing it down here. So what I'll do is, instead of playing this, I'm coming down here and I'm going like this. Almost the same lick. Listen to this. Watch this. Here I go. I'm going to drop this down. Or just a minute after it comes around. Still pentatonic and blues, okay? Now watch this. Now I might do a blues run. More that Dorian bit. Those 2 notes. There's our B and our G flat again. Okay. So, if you watch my videos on, the BB box, playing major blues, mixing major and minor blues, like those sorts of things, those are really the two notes that we're using a lot. We're adding the major third there as well. Thank you, Mike. We're adding the major third there as well, but we're doing that with the bend. So you're automatically going to do that. Anytime you do this, you know, anytime you do any sort of thing like that, which you're going to be doing all the time in blues, so that note's covered. These two other notes we don't use very often. So when we're playing the one chord, you know, this lick here works real nice. Also, it's like we're bending into this minor third. Pretty hot, right? And then when we go to the four chords, so it's like it's on that A7, then when it goes to the D chord, well, that note's right there in the D chord, right? Yeah, you're saying, yeah, it is. It sure is, Eric. So right there. Right. So here's our D7 right here, coming up. So now this would work nice right here. So over that guy works really nicely there, okay? So what I want you to think about this to summarize is understand your scale. You've got it right there, right? You got the Dorian mode right there. So learn it, play it, but you're not running it like you're like I always say, you're playing your scales wrong. It's not that you're running them. It's more like you know that those notes are available to you, and with a great 12-bar blues chord progression like this, boom, you're set for major and minor blues. Just remember that B and that G flat, at least in the key of A, are the two notes that are going to make it sound more major. Also known as the major 2 or the major 6 in all the other keys, right? So if you want to move that around. This just moves linearly. So if you want to do this in the key of G, just move it down. We have a great jam track in the key of G. I think it's called Stevie's Pride or something like that. Nonetheless, Mike, we have a jam tracks playlist now, right?
We do.
We do? Okay, maybe we'll put that in the description of the video. Sure we will. We'll get real creative. We'll do that, right? I got lots of new jam tracks, all sorts of fun stuff for you. Friends, here's the deal. I can't get to your questions. You know, with the new format, I cannot do that. So many different ways to get in touch with me. Number one, social. I'll say that again because I said it wrong just now. Social, Facebook, Twitter, and all that good stuff. I answer a lot of questions there, especially Instagram, because I can do a video or a voice bit there. So great place to do it. Also, text. It's a great way to get in touch with me. Text the number, 833-744-0154 right there. If you type in FREE to this number right here, I will set you up with the Unstoppable Guitar System Standard. Okay, I'll do the work for you. Just type in FREE. It's the top 30 lessons I teach all my students. We've had 500,000 people at least go through this. Massive value. In fact, if you've done it, please, in the chat right now, put 30 so people know exactly what I'm talking about, that it's the real deal, okay? Or, conversely, you can click on the very first link that you'll find below. That will give you access to it as well. Either way, I don't care. I will help you out with it. It's going to massively help you, okay? If we're buddies already within the Unstoppable Guitar System, then just type UGS there, and then we'll be texting buddies, okay? You can ask me questions there, that sort of thing. Okay, that's the way to do it, friends. If you want to check out the Pro Jam Tracks so that you can noodle to the same thing with this new little trick that I showed you, go to projamtracks.com. I have several of them here on YouTube. Eventually, they're all going to be up there at projamtracks.com. Get in early, whole 9 yards. I'm here to help you, my friends. I love you. I'm going to see you in the next video. I'm out of here.